Oh, really? So I don't put no content out, huh? Alright. Think I'm lazy, huh? Alright. Hello, viewers. Me again. Another beautiful day, by the way. Hope y'all 5 senses work, health and strength is good or excellent. Yep. Alright, what do I got here? Listen to this. GitHub tool could help classic PS2 games run natively on today's PC. Says here PlayStation 2 fans could soon see native PC port of classic games thanks to PSR2 Recomp, an indie tool from GitHub user Ran J that automates parts of the PS2 recompilation process. The gaming YouTube channel Pixel Cherry Ninja shared details about the project in a video on Tuesday. It says PS2 Recomp converts instructions from the MIP R5900 base Emulation engine CPU into C++ code. This code can be compiled into native programs that runs on newer machines. It differs from standard emulators like PSX2 as it's translate console instruction at runtime and incurs CPU overhead. Native recompilation removes the overhead by translating code before execution, which in returns let games run faster on newer hardware. Native recompilation runs directly on PC hardware, letting developers add features like ultra-wide support, high frame rates, and custom content more easily than emulation permits. It says here, released last week, the project is in early experimental stages, with Ran J mentioning that it doesn't yet work as it should and requesting community contribution. This main challenge is the graphic synthesizer, the PS2 unusual GPU, which require additional setup for games to run correctly. Multiple PS2 games are already undergoing manual decompilation. Fatal Frames reached 76% completion last month, with the developer working on a native PC port. Resident Evil Code Veronica X sit at 20% completion for its PS2 version, while ICO and Shadows of Colossus also have native decompilation projects. And that should do it. So yeah, you Steam Deck fans, you're spoiled. You and your emulation. Yeah, PS2 decompilation, a work in progress. So there's a video here. So I will leave that link in the description box for you to check out. So yeah, you little Steam Deck nerds, you're spoiled. You got plenty of games to play. You know, plenty of games. Oh, speaking of plenty of games here. Speaking of plenty of games. Let's see here. What else we got here? Let me go through the usual list here. See what else I can come up with for you Steam Deck, you emulation nerds. Yeah. Speaking of emulation and modding, you know they got you do know that they have the Asus ROG Ally using 64 gigs of RAM. Hope you know that. Yeah, ever since the Steam Deck came out, the Steam Decks have been setting up, putting the competition on notice. Now a modder took an Asus ROG Ally and put 64 gigs of RAM on it. Yeah, I feel sorry for the Steam machine when it gets released. Poor Steam machine. Yeah. Anyway, let me go through the list here, see what I can come up with. Speaking of video games, you know. All right. You ain't got anything. You ain't got nothing to say. Yeah. I did a video earlier today on Green Man Gaming. They have a sale, so I'm gonna have to probably add it to this list. But I'm gonna go through the usual suspects, see what I can come up with here, newsworthy wise. Yeah. What's this? Okay, alright. Anything Linux related? Keep going. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Chris, why don't you cover other portable PCs? Well, all I got is the Steam Deck, so hey, try to make the best of it. Let's see, what else we got here? Yeah. Okay, Ars Technica, you ain't got anything. Okay. Tech Power-Ups, you got anything? Let us know. So they're looking through the list here. See if they got anything going. Gaming and tech related. Yeah. One thing about this YouTube stuff, you just got to keep going at it, you know. Keep going and don't look back, you know. Keep going at it. Okay, I did that already. Did that about the PS2. Did all that. All right. Keep going here. All right. Polygons. What do you have? You got anything? Okay. What's this? Okay. Oh, Game Pass. What game's going to Game Pass here? What's this? What's this? What Final Fantasy is this? There's a Final Fantasy on Game Pass. So here, what's this? Oh, Final Fantasy 2. Okay, alright. So Final Fantasy 2 is going to Game Pass. If you want to play it. Yeah, alright. Let's see what else we got here.
Worried because
modern gaming is not dead, folks. Don't let people fool you. There's plenty of work to be done in the game industry. Modern gaming is not boring. Anybody keep telling you that? they haven't been keeping up with the industry. Or better yet, they don't even read articles. They don't read it, so they don't know. Yeah. All right. What do we got here?
not you.
Okay. Anything on the? Okay. eTechnics. You got anything? Linux related. Okay. All right. Keep going here. Yeah. Modern gaming is good, man. Yeah. Okay. All right. WCCF Tech. What you got? See, WCCF Tech and Tech for Gamers took a cheap shot at Xbox, but Phil Spencer already exposed them when they say Sony was blocking games from coming to PlayStation, and then there was a video clip of that where the developer said they were blocking games from coming to Xbox. Anyway, all right. Anything Linux related? Okay, GOG. Speaking of GOG, says GOG admits it used AI to create a controversial New Year sales banner. Classic game retailer GOG was recently caught using AI to generate a promotion image that was accidentally pushed like in a recent storefront. It says here, GOG was caught using AI in a recent banner image, and now the company comes clean and admit that the promos were made with AI, but it wasn't meant to be published. It says here, typical gamers have positive outlook on GOG, a store that sells classic PC games that have either disappeared or very hard to find. That's not the case with a recent controversy, and GOG was caught with using artificial intelligence in some of its use for its new year promotion. It says GOG has since clarified exactly what happened to the subscribers of its new GOG Patreon program. It says in an invite Discord, a GOG representative confirmed that the New Year sale art was created using AI, but it wasn't meant to be pushed live as part of the sale, nor was it meant to be published at all. And then it says the GOG rep goes on to say that the company explores various technologies that could give them an edge. GOG is rather small, and the rep insists that AI helps even the odd a bit, at least in this case. From the sound of it, GOG is using AI for image mockup, which isn't unheard of, but this creation accidentally got pushed live as a part of the promo. Check below for GOG rep quote in full as taken from Discord servers for GOG Patreon courtesy. Says here, hi everyone, I did like to address the case of our recent New Year's sale banner. First of all, regarding quality of the asset, this banner was a work in progress asset that we mistakenly allowed to be displayed on the storefront. This shouldn't have happened. We failed on at least two levels. quality control of the asset that landed on the front page, and then reacting quickly enough when we notice the error. Second, I want to confirm that this WIP asset was indeed made with the help of AI tools. We hear your disappointment with the use of this technology and see that it is a sensitive topic for many of you. I also want to be honest about how we choose to explore technology. We don't have the infinite resource of the industry giants. We're a dedicated but small team working our off every day for game preservation to keep that mission alive, bring more games back to life, and more games DRM free. We experiment with tools that can allow us to do more with limited hands we have. We have been testing different technologies since our beginnings. Some experiments are successful, and some, like this banner, are nothing. Explaining the various tech give us the reach of a much larger team, so we never have to settle for doing less. And that is that. Well, that's why see, it's about communication, man. At least they came out and, you know, admit their faults. Okay, I'll forgive them. I'm not gonna hold it against them. It's when a person though admits that they're wrong for something, that's when it becomes a problem. But anyway, I'll forgive them, move on. Okay, I'm not gonna keep on holding it against them. You know, I just keep pushing. Let's see, what's this? Okay. All right. Let's see here. Anything else on the news front here? Let's see here. Keep moving. There's so much going on. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Gaming Bible. What do you have? What do you have, Gaming Bible? Let's see. What do you have? Okay. What do you have? Okay. We know about the lawsuit from Valve. We already know that. Okay. Okay. It's free games. Let's see what we talking here. We got some free games here. Yeah. Gotta keep you guys in the loop. Let's see what they're talking about here. It says Steam adds 9 new free games available to keep forever. A new batch of free games has just hit Steam. Now a great time to check them out. If you're just kicking off your Sunday morning gaming session, it might be wise for you to check out the latest batch of free games that have been hitting Steam. These games range engineer from bullet hell shooters to online PvP games, and are a good way to an hour or two, meaning kill an hour or two, if you're looking to pass time. It says the new batch of nine free games on Steam includes the following. Let's see, Tohu Mystery Story, Robo Dolphin Escape. Says the first one, Tohu Mystery Escape, a free to play single player game. Tohu Project fan made bullet hell shooter that blends light and rogue like elements with modified gameplay mechanics. Robo Dolphin Escape, a side scrolling adventure game where you must break out of a top secret military operation and thwart an army of fish like machines by collecting their power. Redact is a first-person adventure game set in the 1980s where you navigate a base and make choices which impacts the ending of the game. Malumify the Ocean, a relaxing puzzle game in which you must fulfill every need of your underwater inhabitants. Each inhabitant has their own personality, so it's important to avoid complications. When all the inhabitants are happy, your game world expands and reveal new things to discover. It says My Building. It says an indie idle game where you become the proud owner of a building, watch the building collect XP and earn items dropped to progress. Gazed, an online PvP game about finding other players before they find you. use deception and information from a variety of unique abilities to gain an edge. And then RK Override, an hour-long fully voice interactive narrative following a chimera, a mecha captain fighting in the endless war for their country future. Fight for control against your mecha AI co-pilot RK system as you attempt to end the conflict no matter the cost. And then Bus Prologue, a co-op story-driven adventure featuring your very own bus, fight zombies, gather resource, help others survive, and solve puzzle. Then Channel 4 Midnight, a bite-sized psychological horror game about wayward souls who seek transformation through sinister ritual. That game might not be for somebody, for a lot of people. Yeah, so those are the games. So yeah, over on Steam. So yeah, all right. What else here? Wait a minute. Come back here. Almost done. Still got more to go here. So yeah. Whoops. Where is it? Uh-oh. Oh man, I messed up. Keep going here. Yeah, free games, 9 free games. So those are the 9. It says if you want to see more, it says if you're interested in playing any of these games, you can download them from their respective store pages on Steam. Of course, always check that your PC is capable of running these games before installing them. If they don't meet the minimum or recommended system requirement, you may experience a performance hit, bug, or crash. Yeah, alright. Let's see, what's this? Okay, alright, keep moving here. So 9 free games to get on Steam. Alright. We got any more? Okay. Here's another one. Free games. Steam. I'm just giving away free games. That's all I'm doing. Spoiling you guys. What's this? PC gamers can claim awesome $25 free game, no strings attached. Oh, this from the Epic Game Store. What game is this? AAA game. Okay, free. Which one is it? It says that this week management game. Definitely not fried chicken. Okay, that was in the weekend PC games deal. But anyway, you got 9 free games to choose from Steam though. All right, keep moving here. So, okay, OC3D, what you got? Yeah, got to keep you guys in the loop. Okay, what's this? Uh-oh, Intel versus AMD. All right. Puget System unveiled the most reliable CPU of 2025. It says Puget System has shared its internal data on CPU reliability, confirming who makes the most reliable consumer-grade processors. AMD Ryzen 9000 versus Intel Core Ultra 200. Overall, failure rates for both CPU families are nearly identical, 2.52% for AMD Ryzen CPU and 2.49 for Intel Core Ultra CPU. Those are solid results for both Team AMD and Team Intel. Puget also noted that the most reliable CPU overall was Intel Core 256K, which has a failure rate of 0.77. Furthermore, AMD Ryzen 9000X3D family had an overall failure rate of 1.51, with most failed CPU being caught during the Puget System internal testing procedures. This meant that very few AMD X3D CPU failed after they were delivered to customers as a part of the complete system. Given how often hardware failures are discussed on Reddit and other social media platforms, many will be surprised by Puget X3D CPU result. X3D CPU failure reports are often discussed on social media, but Puget data refutes this claim. Perhaps the customer who purchased AMD flagship gaming CPU are customers who are more likely to utilize those platforms. That would certainly impact the online discourse. And then it says here, from most reliable customer processor of 2026. On the consumer data side of things, results are less clear cut. Looking at total for AMD Ryzen 9 and Intel Core Ultra 200 series, the failure rates are almost identical, 2.52 for Ryzen and 2.49 for Core Ultra. That's too close to say there is a statistically significant difference, so we can't crown either product line. What's this? As a whole, it says, however, there are two standout within these families that did record fewer failures across a wide enough sample size. The most reliable individual processor was Intel Core Ultra 7 256K with only a 0.77 failure rate. As a group, AMD Ryzen X3D processor also had a better track record than the Ryzen 9000 family as a whole, with a 1.51 of chip failing in 2025, and the vast majority of these being caught here before system shipped out to customers. It says here, overall, Puget system data confirmed that today's consumer CPU platform are very reliable. That's good news for consumers. After all, having more reliable products mean that fewer customers need to deal with customer support. That's a good thing for everyone. Well, that was close. That was a close one. Intel versus AMD, man. And they always going at it. Alright, now, what else do I have here? Do I have anything? Anything to give you? Okay, alright, keep moving here. Let's see here. Do I got anything? Anything else? Yeah, with this YouTube stuff, man, gotta keep pushing at it, you know. Can't be looking backwards. Let's see here. What do we got here? What do we got here? I already did this already. Did that already. Okay, keep moving. Let's see what PC games that N got. If they got anything. Yeah. You guys got plenty of games to play, you know. Plenty. Okay, Phoronix, what you got? Phoronix. Okay, 23 minutes. Okay, pick one. Let's see here. What do we got? Anything AMD related? Okay. Anything AMD related? Okay. Anything AMD related? Okay, Linux 6.9. When did this game out? Okay. Okay, Steam survey. Let's see what we got. Steam survey result for January 2026. It says here, after Steam on Linux gaming hits a record high in December of 3.58, the January 2026 number are published. 1 year ago, for January 2025, Steam on Linux was around 2%, and for January 2024, it was coming in under 2%. Back in January 2023 at 1.3. If going by back a decade, Steam on Linux was just 0.95 for January 2016. For January 2026, it ended up dipping 0.2% from December down to a still strong 3.28. It says Windows increased by 0.39 to 94.62%, and Mac OS was at 2.01% to Linux 3.38. And then it says their Steam OS usage accounted for around a quarter of the Linux gamers, And then it says here, AMD GPU usage account for 67% of Linux gaming system, thanks in large to the Steam Deck using a custom AMD APU. Yeah. AMD Linux. Yeah. Steam survey. Alright. Okay. Keep moving here. What else we got? Gotta keep moving on this, man. Can't keep looking back. Gotta put content out. Alright, what else we got? Anything else? That was a day ago. Okay. What's this? Speaking of AMD, what's this? Genome Resource 1.10 adds monitor support for AMD Ryzen AI NPU. So there's NPU, there's CPU, APU, GPU, NPUs, and then there's TPUs. Yeah, so get your U's in orders. Anyway, it says here Genome Resource 1.10 was christened today as the newest version of the modern system monitor app for the Genome desktop that is now used by default, unlike on the likes of upcoming Ubuntu 26.04 LTS. With Genome Resource 1.10, they have added AMD Ryzen AI NPU monitor support and other new capabilities. For those running on an AMD, for those running on an AMD Ryzen AI SoC and on a recent kernel with the AMD XDNA kernel driver, as well as having the AMD Ryzen AI NPU firmware loaded, the Genome Resource app can now monitor utilization of AMD NPU, similar to the existing support in the app for Intel Core Ultra NPUs. It says Genome Resource 1.10 also adds support for searching for multiple process names at once using the operator in the search fields, support for detecting app image, app support for detecting portable apps, and LXC bridge network interface are also now properly detected. It says here Genome Resource 1.10 also significantly reduces the CPU usage of Resource Companion process, less Rust cargo dependency, and various other improvements. And then it says download and more details on the Genome Resource 1.10 system monitor release via GitHub. Yeah. AMD. Yeah. We got anything else? Alright. Keep moving here. Gotta keep you guys in the loop, man. We couldn't find a game the Steam Deck couldn't run. Yeah. Keep. How many minutes I got left? Okay, I think I got some time. See anything here? Anything run on the What's this? 8 hours. What's this? Speaking of AMD, listen to this. Binding results for 13 Ryzen 7 9850X3D prove that the CPU is purely an overclocked 9800X3D from the factory. 9850X3D looks similar to a 9800X3D, just with higher voltage. The worst sample of 13 required 1.335V to achieve its maximum single core boost clock. Says here a CPU enthusiast has published early binding results for the new Ryzen 7 9850X3D, confirming that the chip is virtually an overclocked 9800X3D and is using higher voltage to achieve the chip 400 megahertz higher boost clock. Binding data of 13 9850X3Ds was published by Sugo Lover on the Overclock Net forum, showing a precise default clock speed and V-core result across the different samples. Hardware Lux also report on this same data, but mention its own 9800X3D results show a large difference in core voltage between the two. says the overclock.net user published a variety of specs showing the exact behavior of each of the 13 9850X3D, ranging from maximum memory speed and stability to infinity fabric clock, CPU voltage, and core multiplier. The slowest chip of the 13 managed a maximum single core boost clock of 5.661 GHz or 611, while using the most amount of voltage of the bunch, 1.348 volts. The chip also boasts a SP rating of 118. And then it says here, the best chip of the 13 achieved a clock speed of 5.625 GHz with a V core of just 1.271 volts and a SP rating of 120. SP rating is a term ASUS coined that determines the chip average silicon quality. This feature is exclusive to ASUS motherboards with features use a CPU voltage curve to clock speed ratios to determine the chip SP value. And see if I can get this out of the way here. It says here, going back to the 9850X3D, virtually all but the slowest chip was available to achieve a 5.625 GHz clock speed. The average V-core values for all of the chips hover around 1.31 volts, with the highest power consuming chip of the bunch requiring 1.355 volts to 5.6 GHz. It says here, on the memory and fabric side of things, all 9850X3D were capable of achieving 2200 MHz on the Infinity Fabric, with the best three achieving 2223 MHz respectively. Stable memory speeds for all 13 chips range between 8200 MT for the worst chip and 8600 MT for the best chip. It's worth mentioning that the best performing chips on the memory in Infinity Fabric did not have the best core voltage or clock speed. The data become especially interesting when looking at Hardware Lux results. Hardware Lux referenced its own 9800X3D review data in its own article covering the same 13 9850X3D. Its 9800X3D only needed 1.119 volts to hit its maximum average size boost clock, compared to the best of the 13 9850X3D. The 9800X3D uses 13% more voltage compared to the worst 9850X3D. It consumes a whopping 21% more voltage than Hardware Lux 9800X3D. And then it says, this isn't an apple to apple comparison, but this comparison showed that Ryzen 7 9850X3D in general consumed more power than the 9800X3D. Could there be some niche cases where the best Ryzen 7 9850X3D with the best silicon quality uses the same or lower voltage than the world's worst performing Ryzen 7 9800X3D? Question mark. Possibly, but that appears to be a very rare occurrence, if at all. Yeah, Tom's Hardware. Yeah. What he says here, it says here the data confirmed that the Ryzen 7 9850X3D is not just a better bin 9800X3D, but it also basically a factory overclocked 9800X3D due to the higher voltage required on the 13 samples to achieve peak boost clock. We saw this behavior in our own testing where our 9850X3D sample was consuming 30% more power from a small 3% average performance improvement over the 9800X3D. Yeah, 9050. Yeah, AMD. So yeah, that should hold you people for now. Hope that was good enough for you. That's all the news I got to report. So yeah, I'll keep you guys in the loop next time.